What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about caulking. Caulking in your shower stall, in your tub surround, and why it never ever lasts. Within 3 to 6 months you start having black buildup and mold and it looks terrible. So one of the biggest problems is that there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of videos out there that show you how to do caulking, and one of the favorite things that people tell you to do is dip your finger in soapy water or lick your finger and run it along the bead. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Why? Because it feathers out the edges of the caulking. As you can see here, I've done a sample. Now, I created this board with some plywood and some tile to give you an idea of what the corner of your shower stall would look like. Put a bead of caulking in here, ran my finger along it, and feathered out the edges. Why is that a problem? Well, caulking works best when it bonds at 90 degrees to the substrate. When you feather it out, it really thins out the edges and feathers them out. So what happens then? It looks fantastic the day that you do it. You take a shower, some point or other you come and clean the shower, and you start to see a little bit of buildup. So you scrub that area. Well, it loosens those feathered edges. You don't really see it, but it loosens them so they're not really adhering to the tile surface. Water gets in behind it and it sits there. Within a week you get a little bit of mold growth underneath from the soap scum and all the dirt, and then you look at it and you go, wow, it's turning black. You scrub it more, you're actually loosening it more water gets in, and in no time you've got a lot of black buildup. The only way around it now is take it all out and redo it. So if you do it that way, you're redoing your shower stall caulking probably about 3 times a year. Otherwise it's going to look horrible. So how do you do it so that it lasts? Well, you've also seen people say, put some tape in the corners, put a bead of caulking, clean it out, pull the tape off. That's a brilliant way of doing it because number one, you'll have a caulking bead that looks fantastic, but more importantly, you have a caulking bead because now bonds at 90-degree angles to the substrate. Why? Because the tape that you use, now for this demo I use this blue tape. It's a painter's tape, and I use painter's tape a lot when I do the caulking in showers, but I prefer to use the green tape. The green tape is a little bit thicker. So the thickness of that tape actually creates that little bit of ledge where the caulking bonds at 90 degrees to the substrate. So I'll put a little cutaway here so you can see what I mean. One scenario is feathered, one scenario has tape. When you pull the tape off, those little edges bond at 90 degrees, as thin as it may be. So the tape thickness might be a 32nd of an inch, but it's enough for it to get a strong bond. Now, when you go to put the caulking into the corners, in this demo I've done it with black so you can see it. You put it on. Whether it's silicone or latex caulking. Now if you're doing showers, I love 100% based silicone based product that's meant for showers, kitchens and baths, that's mildew and mold resistant, or whether you're using a latex product, doesn't matter, the same concept applies. It doesn't also matter how much you cut off the end of this, just cut enough to get a nice steady bead. You don't want to goop it on too much because if you goop it on, you're essentially taking it off in the end anyway, so you want to put enough to fill that corner. Now here's the trick. You want to have enough to fill the corner. You don't want to have too much that you're taking it away. I often have a roll of paper towels with me, a cardboard box, and that way as I'm putting it on and cleaning it off, make sure I leave enough behind and not too much on the tape so when you pull the tape off it starts pulling the edges out. So that may take some practice, so it might be worthwhile for you to make a demo like this and actually practice on it before you hit your shower with it. And then the cardboard box is great to just throw stuff into the garbage right there, especially when you start pulling this tape off. So it's time to pull the tape off. So always pull the tape off away from the corner, and that prevents the bead being pulled back off the tile. And when you pull it away from the corner, you should end up with a nice clean bead of caulking with an edge that's got a 90-degree bond to the tile that's going to stick and be secure, and you will see that this will last a long time. So I hope that inspires you. I hope you go and tackle that project. Take your time in the prep work because that makes a big difference in the finishing. Make sure you come back and leave a comment down below and let me know how it turns out.